1, 2, and 3. Okay, let me go to another screen. Okay, 1, 2, and 3.
Coaching culture in the other way is about culture of, for me, it's about empowerment, trust, that you have trust with your co-worker, with your employee, with the teams. And it's a culture of engagements where you create a lot of creativity, your innovations, and all these things will produce the performance and the result. So this is up to my definition as of now. And all these things. And also, it's a tools to connect people in your organization, and particularly across different generations. Today, we have a well mix of audience here. That we have HR people here, we have HR directors, we have R&D experts, we even have a coaching practitioner, we have a trainer, and we have many people here. And all of you here, you will probably need this book. Example, if you are like me, with the R&D people here, your bosses, someone that you ask them, hey, we want to do some culture changing and all that. So this will provide you everything on that. So it saves your time, even though we came up with a lot of definitions here, we do. But if you're an external coach, if you are the trainer or if you are the training consultants, yeah, you will need to know about what's happening inside the organizations, which this book can help you. And you will align your coaching program to the culture that the company will want to. So all these things, check this out. And of course, if you're the manager, you're non-HR, you're non-coaches, it's okay. Because I'm sure that somehow you are reminded to be people-focused in your organization. I'm quite sure that your KPI, and you need to have engagement with your staff, you need to do coaching and all that. So these are the things that is meant for all of us here. So at least you know about a big picture of the organization that you can understand. Now, I will quickly go through the 4 chapters, then I'll pass it to on my speaker here. And there's only 4 chapters here. The chapter 1 is about coaching culture trends. What are the facts? What are the challenges? And how do we align? The most important part is that how do we align the coaching culture to organization goal of organization culture? Because your company probably don't want to do a coaching culture, but it has something to do with people. Now, the chapter 2, which is one of the important chapters, my idea is that having experience from my previous organizations, in order to make an impactful, influence to the organization, you probably need to have some sort of high-level text. Because the chapter 2 is for bringing you everything when you want to build your strategy. Now, the chapter 3 and 4, the most difficult part for the corporates at the end is about getting the budgets and getting the buy-ins. So I put this as one of the case there on chapter 3, where my colleagues, David, will share later on. How do we get the buy-in? How do we manage the stakeholder? And the last one is about how do we actually, still maintaining the coaching culture while we are working from home or back to the office. I write this book in the middle, in this MCO, in the pandemics, and it triggered my thought is that working from home, and some of them, they are working in the office, and the communications is one of the challenge. How do we maintain that?
So I like about the book, and congratulate Ingui. To call out, of course, there are some theory to that in terms of leadership, the lack of coaching skill, dilemma of leadership. What's the difference between coaching and mentoring? I like that because Ingui called it out very nicely in terms of difference between coaching and mentoring. There's still a lot of people get confused with that. And also, what I like is the high-performing culture. How coaching mindset tie back to the high-performing culture, and that's important.
So far, I've not, to be very frank, I've not seen any book touching about creating a coaching culture, or maybe I've not seen that. But kudos to Eng Hui, the first ever Malaysian who have written these books. I can relate the books in terms of how do we create the kind of cultures when I read through the chapter 2 itself. So believe in coaching. I think we need to believe in coaching, and we need to convince our leaders that coaching does create values to the organization. So I would describe it as a journey, because it's an art and science, isn't it? If I put it in layman terms, in terms of coaching itself, some people do see the values, some people don't see it as a values. So we just need to play our roles to create that belief that it is indeed important.
When Eng Hui launched this book, or when Eng Hui asked me to put in a couple of words, for his book, I was very delighted, but more delighted because there is such a book called Building a Sustainable Culture. And I could resonate with that very much, because when I started coaching 21 years ago in Malaysia, bringing the ICF brand name into Malaysia and all that, it was a desert land. So really a desert land. Half my heart say, I don't know whether I'm getting onto the right path or not. And the other part, of course, say that, Mike, come on, go ahead, and it's going to come true. It'll be real. And a book like what Eng Hui has written, thank you, Eng Hui, for that book. And of course, congratulations. It's kind of like, put everything together and say that coaching is the way to go. Coaching is the way to go.
In the focusing in on that chapter and the book, I wanted to say one thing which I really, really love, and I actually am I'm teaching a coaching class at New York University now, and I'm actually next semester going to request that I use this book for the coaching class. And I'll tell you why. Because I challenge anybody to ask any question about how to build a coaching culture. And if you don't find the advice and a tool that you can use right from the book, I would be surprised, because it's so chock full of everything down to the actual communications and forms and everything that you need to do to get support and roll out coaching in your company.